What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Four Stars podcast episode. This is episode 3, and we're here with the host Xavier Cuts and
OB Cuts.
OB,
in
and
the
we got two special guests. If y'all don't see them already, we got Jada Love Cuts.
Hey.
And Nails by Morg, right?
Hey.
I'm excited for this episode because if y'all don't know, Jada's a barber and Morgan's a nail tech. So, and they're in a relationship, they're together. So we're gonna hear the ins and outs of how this relationship works and all this, and just hear the stories one by one. We're gonna
their careers as well. See how that intertwines.
We're gonna ask them one by one how they got started in their industry, and we'll go from there. We'll flow, we'll talk, and we'll see what's up. So let's start with Jada, since she's a 4 Stars barber. She's one of the stars, well, our most recent member. But
Adian is the recent one.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Ariane, yeah. And
yeah.
then the second, she was
Second
here for
most
like,
recent.
she's been here for like 6 months now.
Yeah.
Since December.
December,
2 days before Christmas. That was my first day.
Now you started off Christmas Eve.
Yeah, Christmas Eve, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That was crazy. Bro, I didn't even have my tools out yet. I was taking them out of my book bag and I was cutting walk-ins, bro.
Already,
You,
as soon as
you
she
can
walked
take one
in.
right now. She was like, I mean,
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah,
Anyways, so before she got here though, she had a whole journey of barbering for herself. Like,
Yeah.
how
yeah.
many years you been a barber for?
So in September, it'll be officially 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
She's been a barber. She's already here working with the stars in Berlin, Connecticut, by the way. We're recording this at 4 Stars Barbershop, Berlin, Connecticut. Don't forget
Sir.
that.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Want me to
So
begin?
yeah. What got you into barbering? Like, what's
All
up?
right, man. So, like, I always been around barbers. Like, grew up, I went to school with kids that became barbers. And, it's just a cultural thing. Like, my brothers, they always had barbers, like, come to the house, and I'll go with them to the barbershop. So I always thought, like, I was caught, like, attention because it's an art. It's a craft. So anyways, out of high school, I graduated in COVID 2020. So I went to school, I went to Gateway Community College, and I went for writing and journalism. At the time, I had no idea about anything about businesses or anything like that. My dad was always like, I want you guys to be better than me, like go to school, get a degree. And, it was kind of a little bit of pressure, but, with COVID, it was kind of like you had to jump in the water. You had nothing else. You just had to continue with the flow. So I went to Gateway and I only went for like a semester and I fell completely into a depression and I was just like not with it. So I ended up getting a full-time job at Kayla Mays. Shout out Kayla Mays in Meriden, East Main Street, bro. I was there ever since, 2021? I was there full-time, and then I slowly, became, a manager, and I was just really, I dedicated everything. Felt like I was putting my all into something, into somebody else's dream. Mm-hmm. So I just felt like I was killing myself to make somebody else's dream flourish. So then,
before you move on, what's Kayla Mays like? What's that?
So Kayla Mays is a steamed cheeseburger place in Meriden. That's like a Meriden staple. What we do is we cook burgers in a steam box instead of on a grill, and it's like old fashioned. I have a lot of old timers come in as customers, and they always talk about back in my days when I used to work in a factory, we would cook burgers in a steam box instead of a grill because it was cheaper and it was easier. So anyways, it's just a Meriden tradition. And my biological father, he's best friends with the owner at the time.
Oh, so that's
yeah. So I got the job right on the spot.
Yeah.
So long story short, I was there for X amount of years and it was killing myself. We ended up moving into our first apartment together and I worked every single day. And I ended up starting to work with my father at his auto body shop. And one day he came up to me and he was like, Mama, you have so many dreams that I know that you have and you're just so good. You should put all your passion into something else. Because in the past I have brought up I would like to become a barber and stuff like that, but I was too scared, real shit. Because
at least you've spoken to his sisters.
Yeah, for sure. I had a lot of people that I graduated with that became barbers, and I didn't want it to be a competition. So I just really didn't go that way. But luckily I had my first And like, I was loyal to this first Barber, SG Cuts. You know, she's in the building.
Yeah, she's
And
one of the stars
yeah,
here.
bro.
The director of today's
She's
episode.
really in
Yeah,
the
bro.
background. She'll be on the episode soon. You'll see her. Just stay tuned. But
Yes, sir. So I was going to her when she was in Barber Academy, and I was going to her for a minute, and like she just so talented, so she drawn me like closer to like wanting to take that step. So then she told me like, yo, you should come to the Barber Expo with me. This was the same summer as me working at the shop with my dad. And so I was working 2 jobs at the time, and she was like, yo, like you should come with me, like, you know, cause I would chat with her, but I was never serious, like for real.
she probably was like, I know the one thing that's gonna get her into the barber industry,
yeah.
and she chose the expo, which is
Yes, sir.
we talked about it before. If
Episode
you're a
1.
barber or think about being a barber, you gotta go to the expo.
The expo is life changing, real shit. Because I had a conversation at the expo with L'Oreal, the barber, and that was like my first time meeting her, and I was low key starstruck because it was like, oh my god, this is somebody I follow on Instagram, and she was like, yeah, bro, like. You a barber? And I'm like,
She
no.
did the accent perfect. Yeah.
Yo, you cool as hell. If you watching this,
Bro, have you
mad
seen this?
cool.
She did your
Yeah,
accent perfect.
You did your thing, bro. But she was like, yo, are you a barber? And I was like, nah, not yet. She was like, word, boy, I hope like this opportunity that you hear, like, she was a little turned too. So she was just like glazing the Barber Expo. And I was just like, real? And we went to the Grammys. That was what really made me like real drawn to it.
Oh, you
Because
went the whole weekend?
the whole thing, bro. Whole
And
thing.
I've
you
never
were-
been the whole weekend.
You
Yeah.
weren't, me neither. I'm a barber.
Yeah.
That was before you was a
I
barber.
even went, and I'm a nail tech.
She went with too.
It was good.
Yeah,
Like it was
yeah.
as advertised.
Yeah, hell yeah. Especially like if you have goals to go higher into this thing, like if you want this shit to be your life, that Grammys is real shit. Because I feel like, you know, being a barber is such like a cultural thing, but this shit is respected for real. Like it's a career. It's not just a hobby, it's not just a side thing, it's a career.
That's why I said episode 1 that back then when we were kids, barbers was like
Yeah,
It's-
yeah.
not
It was
I
the
wouldn't say
pinnacle of the neighborhood.
yeah I wouldn't say low of the low, but it wasn't
Yeah.
a job that was looked up
Like
to.
not even that too long ago. Like pre-COVID, it was like that. Like real shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank God for like when things hit the fan with COVID, like people began to wake up and really wanted to get out the system. Anyways, long story short, I was like, kept that in the back of my head and I didn't tell nobody, but I applied to J Major's Academy around that same time. And then I was like, whatever. I didn't check my email. I just left that shit be and I was just working that summer. Then August came and I was talking to my dad and he was like, you know, he was talking to me. And so then that same weekend of talking to my dad, I called J Majors. Like I called the school. Then J Majors was like, oh yeah, like I put up the email and everything. Like he kind of like traced me back to it and he already accepted me and everything. So I was like, damn, like I could have been in school all that time, but I just wasn't thinking about it. So anyways, I started school that same week. And ever since then, like I just full-fledged went. And I had a lot of support, thank God. My girlfriend supported me, my dad supported me, my great-grandmother supported me. Like I had like, you know, I came into this thing and I was like, whoa, but everybody was there to help me like grow and financially and mentally because I was like, yo, I'm about to like leave this job real soon. So I went to school and I was still working full time. And what the hardest part was for people to trust me. I was new, I'm a female, and I look white. So people, real shit, people think that I didn't know what I was doing. So
Before you started even going to the barbering, were you scared to try it?
nah,
Like,
because
do you think there was a risk to it?
nah, real thing was like, I was excited because it was something new and I felt like in my heart I had the passion for it. I'm a hustler, so like anything I do, like, you know, I would sell clothes in high school. Like, you know, I would sell clothes, like I said, when I was working at Caleb Mays, I'd do the most stuff. I'd start wiping the damn walls just to get a raise because I wanted that money. I would wipe the baseboards and I would do all this extra shit, stay longer because I wanted to be respected so I could get, you know, a raise and be a manager and stuff like that. I didn't like when my boss was on my ass because I really wanted to be up. So, you know, I wanted to put that fire and passion into something that I know that would be for me. So when I started barbering school, it was hard because I would, I'd practice on my dad and my brothers and stuff like that. But it was hard because, I grew up with a lot of cousins and family, so I didn't really have a lot of friends that I would actually was close with. So I'm like recycling my cousins and brothers, and I'm like, damn, it was hard because nobody was liking my stories or following me back, and it's still low key like that. Not gonna cap.
They still sleeping on you.
Yeah, they're still sleeping on me, but I'm still working on my craft. So, feel me? Time will tell. God will bless me.
When in that process do you feel like you was making an improvement? Cutting.
When I stopped comparing myself to people, even through YouTube, I'll be like, damn, why can I not get this guideline out? I just had to be patient and do my own thing because everybody teaches you differently. In school they teach me different formula, and then I'll visit SG or I'll go to my other boy Josh Arroyo. Shout out you, because you really was the first person that really touched my head. Even my first undercut. Shout out you, bro. He's my brother's barber. He's young too. He's slept on. He's in Wallingford. But the hell was I saying? What was I saying, bro?
I don't even know.
What gave you that push? That gave you.
How did I know that was So once I stopped comparing myself to people and just was locked in and figure out my own flow, that's when it just came natural, because I was that's when you become when you become the barber, when you get the barber eye and you feel what
the barber eye.
Yeah, the barber eye, shortcuts, different ways. You know what I'm saying? It's just once you know the ins and out of it, that's when you slowly begin to know that you got it. It's like a checkpoint. Then you get to the next level, being a freshman and a sophomore and stuff like that into your career. So anyways, fast forward, I begin to slowly get better, and then SG, she moved to Middletown, Fresh Cuts in Middletown, and she was like, yo, just come work with me, it's a new shop, you're getting good, all this stuff. So I was for sure. So then I went ahead and I visited them and then talked to them, and then we locked in, but we didn't really lock in yet. I was low-key scared to be yo, my boss, I'm finna be out of here, real shit. So then eventually it fell through, everything fell through, and I started working with SG. And that was cool because it was it was brand new location, brand new barbers. So it was we was front lines. And it was awesome because it's I gave my clients there. My clientele began to grow, and I met a lot of cool people that I still have from Middletown, and they supported me, and a lot of them were people that were older that you could tell they really trusted me because the conversations that we had. They knew that I was up and coming and new, so they didn't even think twice about the cut. They just really liked me for me. So
customer service.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So I knew that I had to, maintain that relationship and respect and match it with my craft. I had to do the same thing at the same time. So it was cool because, everything went well. But, I was paying parking every single day for there, and it was $7 a day. That shit just added up. So then, eventually, SG moved to here, and then, I had interest, but I didn't really know Omar. For real, I knew everybody in here, but I didn't know Omar. So I didn't want to
everyone else knows Omar.
Yeah,
that's how we kind of got in.
That's crazy. Yeah.
So you didn't know Omar.
I didn't know Omar, but I knew y'all. Through Meriden and stuff like that. So I was I don't want to overstep that boundary. But when I would come here, when SG was moving here, as soon as I walked in, bro, I immediately got emotional because I was no way, I knew how young he was and I didn't know who he was, but I knew how young you were. So when I walked in here, I was yo, this kid is blessed. God is doing something in his life because
I think
this is gorgeous.
Yeah, I think that's one way we all feel when we walk into the shop.
Yeah.
Bro, episode 1, when I told you I walked into the doors during the grand opening, oh my God.
I knew it.
That first walk through into the shop, it changes you.
Right.
Life changing, literally.
Facts.
Did you, when you walked into the shop, did you feel like this was home, or you didn't know yet?
You took me?
Yeah.
Nah, because honestly, I'm more of a person I want to be welcomed first. You feel me? Like, I don't want to just be like, oh yeah, this is for me. Like, I'm here. I don't care what y'all say. Like, nah, I want to be welcomed first. I want to make that relationship. I need to make sure we locked in before I even think to be a part of something. I don't know. I think it's just how I was raised and stuff like that. But yeah, when I came in, I was like, yo, I got choked up, and I think I pulled you aside real quick. I told you like, yo, this is crazy. Like, yeah, I did.
That first time.
And then you know, I thought about it. But I was like, I'm not gonna say anything yet. Like, this was in the summer when she moved in. SG moved in here. So I was just like,
like the first month of the shop being
first
open.
month, I was about to ask
It was
that.
like September.
Yeah, so it was really early on.
Yeah. So I let it play out. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna like thug it out at Middletown. Like, if this is where God wants me to be, this is where I'm finna be at. Like, real. Cause it started getting dead over there. No shade, but like, you know, like, I feel like once people move around, people are in and out, like, it's different, like, energies, different, you know, emotions. So I felt like, dang, like, I gotta keep my spirit strong in this.
Head up, yeah.
So, you know, everything was straight. I was learning more. I had more clientele. Everything was going good. And it was Christmas time. Thanksgiving, I was blessed. And Christmas time came around. And I knew, something in me was like, ooh, like, I really need to, like, go to the next step. Like, something's calling me. So, yo, no lie, I would text Omar all the time. Because then eventually I would come here and visit SG, get a cut by her and stuff like that. And I would chop it up with Omar. But I would text him like, yo, like, whenever you get another chair open, like, yo, I would be so down to work with you. So he knew that in the back of his head. And he was always like, don't worry, like, you're the first person I'm going to hit up.
You're the
so
first
I was,
one.
yeah.
It's funny because I heard about Jada way before she was even here because you would tell us, like, Jada's interested in coming, like, what do you guys think?
Yeah. So,
That would be, I always consult with everybody.
That's what I like
It's
about you.
more
You
of
always
like
ask.
yeah, that's respect.
It's a community here.
Yeah, like we come in, work, we see, like I said, we see each other more than we see our families, our loved ones.
So it is your family.
So you coming in here, you don't want to be like feeling off by this person or like, you know, just, it happens like that. But if you guys are able to talk it out and be like, yo, I think she'd be a good hire. Yeah, Jada will be fire, especially SG and Jada having that connection already. Just completely it's like a no-brainer.
It's funny because it is so true that you've told us that other barbers have come into this barbershop and they said they had an interest, but you always ask us first. And if at least one person thinks it's a bad idea, you rethink it yourself.
Yeah, that's when we start taking like steps back.
That's where you start picking and choosing who do you want coming in the
Because
shop.
respective barbers, they come here all the time, or on Instagram as well. They're, oh, you got a chair available? Yeah, but I got to talk it with the team.
It's the thing.
We're a family. At the end of the day, we're family.
A lot of us, we met in barber school, so we've been building this chemistry for years now. So it's always a good thing to talk to your team members, and even though you're the owner, you have the final decision in everything we make or do.
Yeah,
you always talk to the team, and that's fire.
Not a lot of barbers do that, or owners.
Not a lot
They
of
don't-
Yeah, not at
salon
all.
people in general don't.
Period, yeah.
Because when I was working at a nail salon, they didn't care who came in. They said, you want a job?
Yeah.
Go sit down.
Yeah. Because they look at you
And
as a
it-
dollar sign.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate.
Anyways, so let's move up a little bit. When did Omar text you that you got the green light to come in?
Bro, should
How
I
was that?
even say that? That's some crazy.
Damn. I'm going to take a sip to that one.
Anyways, he hit me back and he was like, yo, yeah, we in the works. Is there any way you could come down? And I was just like scared because like, bro, it just started to pick up. It was Christmas week. So I was like, yeah, for sure, but like not too after.
He was trying to get you to move in that
wanted me to-
precious
that
week.
same
yeah.
week, bro.
No, because I hit her up. We had an opening like 2 weeks before
Oh,
Christmas.
but I was going to Cali. That's what it was.
So Jada said, oh, I think she said vacation.
Yeah, I was,
LA.
And
I was
then
going to Cali.
give it a week.
Yeah.
So she went on her vacation. She came back, and I think that's when we finally talked.
Yeah.
Pulled you outside. We talked. Agreed on everything.
Yeah.
And I think the week you said, "Oh, just give me a week."
Yeah. And I already knew. I already made my decision. It was more like when. Because that was just crunch time right there. Anyways, I came up in here that first day, and I was like low-key nervous because I knew y'all, but I didn't know y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I knew SG, but
I
like,
still don't really know you.
Yeah.
Fun fact, this is like the first time me and Jada actually sit down and talk, because every time I'm here, either I'm working or she's working, so we never
Yeah,
have time to
like,
hang out and stuff.
we'll be here late together, but we like
Locked
cutting,
in.
bro.
So it's like the first time we chopped it up
Yeah,
for
yeah.
real, so it's cool.
It's funny because, yo, we went to school together back in like
I didn't even know
John Berry,
this.
bro, elementary. I knew
Yeah,
you
I
since
didn't-
elementary. You had a
Yeah.
buzz cut and all,
Yeah.
gang.
I do not want to see Xavier with no buzz cut. Jesus Christ.
You heard it. Never cut into this. You never. If I go bald,
Picture up there.
you'll see me.
Yo, put a picture right here.
Nah, no, there's no picture. I'm the editor. You're not getting no
Right
picture.
here.
There's no picture. There's a picture of Omar. An embarrassing picture of Omar. I know I got one right there. Boom.
Oh my
So-
God, bro.
Oh
Back
my
to
God.
back. Hey, back to back episodes. Oh
I'm an L-Mans.
my God. Yeah.
Anyways, so
Bro, well, yeah, that's how it was. And ever
First
since
day,
then,
how was
yeah.
it?
Like I
It was
said,
Christmas Eve.
it was
That's
hectic.
crazy.
It was hectic, but I made some money. I remember that. It was hectic. And you kept, yo, you good? You good?
Yeah.
Because I was mad quiet in the beginning. For a minute, I was mad quiet. And y'all would be like, yo, you good? Like, and I'm just like, you know, I
In your
take a
own
little
world,
bit.
yeah.
I take a little bit
No,
to like
Jada's
adjust.
always quiet though. I feel like you need some time to like ease into it, get comfortable.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm like that too. I'm like quiet around new people, and then eventually you'll see the crazy side of me.
I think it's
Cause
like
I
you
remember
gotta lock in.
I asked Jada, I was like, yo, do you want the ox? You want to put something on? She's like, nah, I'm good.
That's too much responsibility for her at that moment.
Because
She
I like
was like-
different music than y'all too, bro.
Yeah, she's more of an old hat.
Yeah, bro. I be listening
Like
to
old
like,
hat.
yeah.
Oh,
You
like
talking about the 90s.
what kind of music you listen
yo,
to?
90s, like 80s, 90s, and 2000 hip
That
hop
was
and
back when
R&B.
Xavier was born.
Nah,
Back in the 80s, yo.
nah.
See, I'm old too. We
Bro,
the same
there's
age,
at least one old joke in every episode.
Yo. You look older, gang, bro. What did you
Yo,
say?
stop it, bro.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Anyway, that's when you got in the shop and you've been killing it ever since.
Yeah, bro. Thank God. Like, man, I would pray so much with that time, cause real shit. When y'all brought it up in the last episode, January is the slowest month of the year. So when December ended, it was January, and that was my first time in a barbershop.
Especially when you have
Yeah.
no clientele.
First January in a
Yeah.
barbershop.
When you have
That
no
shit
clientele,
hurt.
it's even worse.
Real.
That shit
so,
hurt.
Bro, I would be like mad stressed, emotional. Like, bro, wouldn't eat because I'm like, bro, should I go back to Kayla Mays? Should I not? You know, I picked up a couple of shifts here and there, but it was not realistic. But, you know, all you got to do is pray hard, market yourself, you know, do whatever you can to really get up there, because you got to remember the next January, you're going to be better than last January. So that's what you got to just keep, like, moving forward, seeing that tunnel vision, because, like, bro, you know, your mind is your worst enemy. And so it's like, you just got to know better than that. Feel me? Like, type shit.
So for Morgan, how you get into the nail tech business?
It's kind of similar to like COVID happened. COVID struck when I was junior in high school, so middle of my junior year, it was like cut out. So I felt like I ended high school early. And at that, it was like, I always knew I wanted to own my own business. I never would have thought I would be doing art, like nails and all of that.
Period.
But I was like, no, I'm going to own my own business. I would tell all my teachers, no, I'm not going to college. I'm owning my own business. And they would come at me and be like, you won't be anything. I had teachers tell me, like, you're going to go work at McDonald's and all this. And I was like, okay, period. Like, okay.
That's the fire right there. Somebody
Real.
needs.
Yeah,
The
seriously.
villain backstory.
Yeah.
The villain like,
But so it kind of like at that time, I still didn't know what I wanted to do, but it was COVID and nobody knew what they wanted to do. I still had my whole senior year that I had to finish and everything. But at that point, we were all home, and I kind of would I ordered a kit off Amazon. I was just doing my own nails because I couldn't go to the nail salon to get my nails done. So I was like, I'm just going to do my own nails as like a fun little hobby for myself.
Well, that's kind of how you started, just
Like
doing
I
your
just was
own.
like, let me just order it. And I was always into like, I would paint a lot when I was younger, but I was never like doing art, like drawing and crazy stuff. But I was, you know, I painted and stuff. But then I ordered a kit off Amazon and I like started to do my nails and everything. And then senior year came around and I was like, I don't even want to go back to school. Like, I don't want to do that anymore. Like, you know, obviously I went there, but I went all online. I took one class my senior year, finished off, graduated, whatever. At that point, I still wasn't even taking clients, and I took, like, time off and whatever. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to just do nails, like, keep doing it. I was working, like, a regular retail job. At
what motivated you to
I
do the
think
nails?
that my mom, she owned her own business her whole life pretty much, and so did my father. And they were kind of like, they never went to college. They were like, we didn't go to college. We were successful. You guys do whatever you want, but I think that, you know, and then unfortunately both of them ended up passing away after I graduated. And then
Oh, that's
after
hard.
that, I was like, okay, I got no plan B. I got plan A, and if plan A don't work, there ain't no plan B. So I was
So
like,
you went full
I was
dive
like,
into
I was
it.
working at a UPS store, and I was like, do I go full time here? And the owner was he was amazing to me, and he like gave me a lot of like benefits. When my dad passed, he gave me, I think, almost 4 months off, and he would like still like send me a check here or there, but I wasn't even working. And whenever you want to come back, I was
That
right
was
back in the
senior
That's
year?
real.
This was my senior year. I worked my entire senior year at the UPS store and everything. But then after my mom passed, so my mom and dad passed 9 months apart. My dad passed first, and then my mom passed after. Right after she passed, I was like, oh, okay, this is real, because we lived with my mom, so she was our support system. We didn't live without my father, but when she passed, I was like, this is real life. Like, I have to make a decision. Do I want to, one, go to college and go get a business degree? Two, stay at this UPS store and hope that something works out for me? Or, C, let's just go do nails and see where it takes me. So I started to take clients at my house because we had an empty room. I started doing nails before my mom passed away, actually, and she was always that person that was like, keep going, you're doing amazing. She'd brag about me to everyone, like my daughter's starting her own business in my basement, like that whole thing. So then, because there was an empty room down there, so I had a whole studio and everything set up. And then she passed, and things got a little rocky in the family, whatever. And I moved out, and there situations happen. And I remember that week that I moved out was the first week that I had at least one client every day. And I was so proud of myself. I was like, damn, I
That's
have
a
one
goal.
client every day.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had to move out. I had no choice. So I had to text all those clients and say, I'm sorry, I can't make your appointment. I had to cancel on all of them. And I was freaking out. I was with Jada. I was like, we were in the car. I remember we were at Chick-fil-A, and I'm like, freaking out. I'm like, what do I do? Like, I kind of already, I'm at this point, I'm working at UPS, I'm going to nail school, and I'm like still trying to take clients. So I'm like doing everything at once. And then I remember I was looking up salons on Instagram. I found a couple different salons. Some salons were like, sorry, we're not hiring. Other salons, there's one salon that was like, come in tomorrow. And I was like, okay. So I was a little sketchy about it, because like when they're so like needy,
It was too easy.
yeah, I was like, oh gosh. But at that point, I was desperate. I had nowhere to do the nails. Like, I ended up staying at my friend's house for, once I got kicked out or I just left, whatever. I ended up staying at my friend's house. And bless her for letting me stay there, because otherwise I wouldn't know where I would have been. But, so I stayed with her, and I remember I looked at our mom, and I was like, 1 month. And she was like, what? And I'm like, 1 month, that's all I need. Gave me a place for 1 month. I promise you I'll get an apartment. I'll get my job up. I promise. And the mom was like, stay here as long as you want. But I made a promise to myself, like, I have 1 month. So in that 1 month, I ended up working at that nail salon. I started working. It was hard.
Where was it located?
It was in New Haven, so it was kind of farther.
Downtown or like?
It was on Amity Road in New Haven, kind of like in the ghetto, low key. But whatever.
Facts.
So I was working there, and it was good, but it was hard because I was the youngest one there, and I was the only white girl. And I've had people that would walk up to me and be like, "Oh, I'm not getting my nails done by no white girl," and I'm sitting there and like, oh, got it, like okay, that's fine.
Crazy.
Yeah, I was
You
in
can't
shock.
spaz or nothing. It's like,
And I'm also like, I was the youngest one there, and I literally was just like, I'm just trying to build my clientele, so I didn't want to give off that presence of like going back. And I'm not a person to start fighting with somebody or argue. So I literally was just like, okay. But there was days I would be there for 7 hours and take no clients, and since it was commission,
Real.
I would walk out of the door with $0 in my pocket.
barber.
When I told my friend's mom, I got 1 month. So I'm telling myself, you have 1 month, you have 1 month, you have 1 month. And I like locked in, and I started praying like a lot. I would listen to worship music on my way to work. Like, I would really like focus and be like, God, if this is what you want for me, let it be for me. But if it's not, let it go and show me another way. And I would be okay with that. The next week, I started to take clients and everything, and I started picking up. I remember I had one day, and I think I took like 4 clients. For a nail tech, that's like a good amount, you know? I took 4 clients that day, and it was good money. And I remember that week, I made good money. And I was like, okay. By the end of that month, I got approved for an apartment right off the rip. Mind you,
how long was you taking between like nails, like clients?
like
at
how
that
long
point?
did it take in the beginning?
Yeah, in the beginning.
It would take like per client, like how long it took me.
Yeah.
In the beginning, like 2.5 hours,
Okay.
which was still quick compared to the girls I was working with.
Okay.
But I was like we were going, and it was a lot when you're working at a salon with people that are all older than you, and it was very much like go, go, go. Next client's here. You got to hurry up. Like it was very rushed.
Like
so
a factory sweatshop, more like.
yeah, it was a very beautiful salon. It was gorgeous, very higher class, very Americanized, but it still was like the underlying issue of like, do you know what I mean? Like it was just like go, go, go. The owner there, she's a sweetheart, bless her. But at that time, I ended up taking all the clients there, and I got blessed enough to get approved for a lease on an apartment with no proof that I work a job, because I wasn't working at the UPS store because my mom passed away, because he gave me time off. So I would literally work there one day a week, and at the nail salon, I couldn't prove that I was working there yet because I wasn't really on the books at that time. But I got approved with the grace of God, and I was out exactly on that month mark, and that's when I was like, okay, God, this is what you want for me. And then I started to work every single day at that salon, and then one of my videos on Instagram went viral.
This is it.
And then after that, I was like, it went viral, and I was like, woke up the next morning and I had like 200,000 views on like a reel, and I was like,
What?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
What
Whatever.
video was it?
It
Like,
was,
what do you do in the video?
it was literally just a video of me having her nails in it, and it was that song from Tyla, you know, make me sweat, make me hot.
Oh, okay.
That water song. So I walk in the salon the next morning, and I was always the first one there. I opened up the salon. By the month in, the owner trusted me, gave me keys because she knew I was a hard worker. Like, she gave me keys to the salon that she was
Period.
like, this girl is, I think at the time I was 19, and she was like, this girl's 19, give her the keys. Like, let her in, who cares? So I got the keys to the shop. Like, I would open it up, and every morning I'd, you know, whatever. And I remember during that day, that song came on. And like, I didn't pay no mind to it, because yeah, that video went viral with that song, but whatever, you know? And I remember the girls at the shop, one of the girls that worked there, she was super sweet. She's like, oh shoot, Morgan, this is your song. And I'm like, oh God. And then I looked back at the post, because I'm like, oh, why are they saying it's my song? So I looked back at the post, and it jumped up again. It had like 400,000 views. And I'm like,
Damn.
oh shoot. So I see people in the comments like, these are amazing, these are so good. And mind you, I look back now and I'm like, oh, those are simple, you know? But that's the video that went viral. So I was like, okay, this is fun. You get that kind of like energy, and I realized like some more people were starting to book with me and understand who I was. And I started to post a lot on the, I would collab with the page that, of the salon that I was working at.
Throughout that 1 month you gave yourself, you was constantly posting?
Yes. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I was posting almost every
That
single
was your
day.
form of like marketing?
Yeah, because I was like,
For sure.
and I would post, because some days I would have no clients, so I wouldn't post, but I would try and post as much as possible. And I remember that day I posted that video, and that was it. And then after that, I was like, let's make more fun videos, like more interactive videos. And that's when I really got into like, let's not just post the nail pictures, like let's make a motive behind each post, whether it was like, this is the nail tech, these are the nails, like show more who I was on my page. And once I started showing my face on my page, it kept going up and up and up and up.
This is a good tip. This is a good tip. If you're a barber or nail tech or whatever business you're in,
service industry you're in.
Don't just post your work. Post you, because you're the person behind your
Because
work.
when you book an appointment with somebody, it's already intimidating as is. But
Especially
if
as
you
a
know
new-
if you know what they look like when someone walks into the barbershop, if they don't know what you look like, they're gonna be like, I have an appointment with so and so or whatever it is. But if they go, oh, I have an appointment with you, they can point at you, they know you, and they kind of get a inch of your personality a little bit on social media, whatever you want to give them. So then when you sit down with them, they could kind of understand you better, and it's always gonna be a smoother appointment.
Yeah, I started doing that. Like, now on my stories, instead of just posting a picture and be like, book your appointments, I started talking to the camera more. Like, if you want to have space, like use your voice, like make people know you, because that way they're more likely to be like, oh, this is like an actual person. I'm gonna go book my appointment.
And they
Yeah,
know
I
that
need to
you're
start
real
doing
about
that.
it too.
I feel like that's something that I'm lacking on in terms of content, showing myself.
Show your character. It is important.
It's
Trust me.
hard though.
It's
intimidating
I'm
at
telling
first.
you, people are mean. Oh my gosh, people are mean
Shit.
on social media. They'll say whatever they want, and you have to just be like, okay, whatever, and delete the comment or keep working towards it. But
What's the worst thing you probably read in a comment?
That's bad.
nothing me personally, I feel like, but like even like I'll post like clients their hands, and people be like,
You know how Instagram, the Instagram reels, they got to them.
Rolling.
yeah, and they're like, oh my
Yeah.
god, those are
Mad
man
trolls.
hands. that's not the same person, and it's just their hands. Like you don't
Do you
even see
tag
their
your
face.
clients?
No.
Oh,
That's,
thank God.
I don't
Thank
tag
God
my
they could've-
clients.
Jesus.
They could have had a personal target.
No, I don't tag my clients. No, but people are rude. Not to me personally, but like I've had even like as of recently, I've been posting more how long it takes me to do a set because like I told you, it took me like 2.5 hours. Fast forward, I now own my own like suite in North Haven and everything, so I'm all on my own. And I left the salon for all good reason. Like I just needed to move.
Yeah.
But it's just because I was growing so fast.
Did you feel it? Like we asked this question last
To
episode.
Justin, yeah, he said it.
When do you feel that it was time for you to, okay, I need my own space now, my own suite?
It's actually funny because this was when I was posting for the salon and myself. So anytime I post for the salon, it would go viral. Anytime anybody else would, it really wouldn't. So then I'm realizing I'm doing all this work for me, but I'm also doing it for them. And then I realized it got to a point where almost at least, I would say almost 8 times a week, which I think is a lot, somebody would come in and look at me and go, I wanted to book with you, but you were booked out, so I had to book with her. And that's when I go, okay, so I'm promoting myself to the point where they're now gaining clients. I don't make commission from that. You know what I mean? Now I'm sitting here and I'm like, damn, I'm doing all this work and I don't get anything off. Like I brought these people in and I'm not getting anything out of it, you know?
What is the side of nail techs? How's that business, like commission? What is the
Every
percentage?
salon, every salon is different. Some salons are 60-40, some salons are 50-50. Like,
Do you guys
depending-
do rent in any case?
No.
Like,
Some salons will do like a booth rent, like similar.
Yeah.
Okay.
But nail salons, it's because we all share the same products. If you have a nail wall with all the colors, we all gotta share it.
Yeah,
So at that
share, yeah.
point, we all share all the products. She supplied all the products, but she takes this much out of your cut. So whatever it is, if it's 50-50, you think you make $100? No, you made 50. You know what I mean? So it's like you have to work harder to see something out of it. So at that point, I was like, once I started seeing people come in and be like, oh, I want to book with you, but you're booked out, and I'm gonna book with her instead. I was like, damn, like these people are here to see me, but I can't even service them. I feel like bad in a way. And
how many followers do you have at this point? Do you remember? Right before you moved out of the salon.
I think at this point, like, I think I had 10K. Like,
So you were already on social media.
yeah, like it was going, it was jumping. So I had 10K at this point when I was at the salon. This is when people were coming in, and then we get a text from. Her name is Lauren Long, and she was part of a New York Fashion Week thing. So they get a text and they said, like, you know, whatever. I don't know exactly how it played out. Owner of the salon was like, Morgan, you're gonna come to New York Fashion Week with us. And I'm like, okay, sure, I have nothing to lose, like whatever it is. We ended up going to New York Fashion Week. It was crazy. It was definitely an experience. It was cool to work with models and all this stuff, but you're like, it's very sweatshop. Go, 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 go. Okay, the show's on, let's go, let's go. And that's when I was like, okay. I met a bunch of other nail techs, which was really great. But I remember there was a point in time where I was with the owner of the salon, and something happened between the owner of the salon that I was working at and the Lauren, the one that was running the New York Fashion Week nail group. They got into like, I don't know what it was. That's, you know, not my business, whatever. But she ended up leaving, the owner, and I was with her. So she ended up going home. Her and her sister went home, and I was there. And I remember Lauren came up to me and goes, how long have you been working for her? And I was like, oh gosh, is this gonna be messy? And I was like at this point, it was only like, I think 8 months. So I was like, 8 months? And she was like, girl, you need to do something else. And I'm like sitting there and I'm like, what just happened? What is going on? Like, you know.
That got real messy.
Yeah, and I was like, and you know, women are very like, you know, they go at it. So I was like, I'm just trying to like play the table. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And she's like, you're so talented and you're so sweet. You need to get out of there. Like, no shade to her, but I see something so big in you. And I was like, okay. And hearing that from anybody at this point, because since I don't have my mom or my father, hearing that from somebody that's older than me, like really took to me, because I'm like, I don't have anybody telling me, oh, wow, you did a good job. I'm so proud of you. It's like I said, it's me and I gotta keep pushing. So when she told me that, I was like, okay. And then other girls were like, yeah, you should open up your own suite. That's a good way to start, da, da, da. So we just started talking business, and I was like, okay. And you know, they said other little things in between, but I got back to the salon, and that's when I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. Like, I'm ready to leave. Like,
Like
after
that first day of you going back?
yeah, that first day of me going back, I felt the energy was different because I was the only girl out of all the other girls that worked there. Me and the owner, and we're the only people that went to New York Fashion Week. So there were still 10 other girls working at that salon. They didn't go. So I felt personally a little bit of envy, like, oh, how was it? And I was like, good, like, period. Because I don't know what the owner told them, if she was like, oh, I left earlier, whatever. So I was like, that's not my business. I was just like, it was good, period, point out blank, like, seriously. And at that point, I was like, I'm going to start looking for suites. Like, I didn't care. And again, I don't know what it is with me and this 1 month rule, but it was 8 months, and I was like, okay, by the end of the 9th month, I'm going to be out of here. And I started looking for suites. I found suite.
What were things that you were specifically looking for in the suites?
I had no clue.
You
I
just-
had
whatever
no
you
clue what I
found?
was looking for. I just wanted to make sure I could do acrylic and do nails and they wouldn't be bothered by a smell or whatever it was. But I didn't even know what to look for. You know, I was, like I said, I had no parent behind me like, oh, Morgan, this is a good idea for this, or an adult being with me being like, oh, if you do this, you know, it was literally me searching up on like TikTok and Instagram and what's good to look in for a suite, whatever. So I just started looking, and I found this place in North Haven, Phoenix Salon Suites, which is a branch around, you know, the United States. But I started there, and I went in. We went in through a little walkthrough. They showed me the rooms, and they're like, yep, that's it. So let us know if you want it. And I was like, okay. So I typed everything up. I went to go sign the lease and everything. And then I told the owner 2 weeks before, right when I got the confirmation, like, it's going to take 2 weeks for this lease to process, and then we'll get you in. That's exactly when I told the owner. I was like, I don't want anybody wishing anything bad on me. So I told the owner 2 weeks before exactly. I was like, hey, I'm so sorry. I wish you the best. I would love to still be, you know, do something with you in the future, but I'm moving forward. And she was I'm so proud of you, like that. All the girls there, nobody knew until they saw me packing up my stuff the same day that I left. Because I didn't tell anybody for 2 weeks. And I told the owner, please keep this between me and you.
Okay.
So that last day, I got up, grabbed all my stuff. I was like, all right, guys, I'm leaving. Today's my last day. And they're all like, oh my gosh, what? And like tried to act all surprised or, you know, whatever. That's girls. But I left, and now I'm in my own suite. And
Are you still in that same suite?
I'm still in the same suite, yeah.
Okay.
So I've been in that suite for probably like 1 year and 3 months now. So for a little while, not too long, but I love it there. It feels comfortable for me, and I've excelled so much. And
As a nail tech, when do you know when to put your prices up?
when to up my prices?
Yeah.
I up my prices right after New York Fashion Week, because how many nail techs do you know that go to New York Fashion Week? So immediately after that, I remember I was already pricing. So all the prices at the salon, I matched and then upped it from New York Fashion Week. So I upped that, and then as of recently, my page kept growing. So I'm at 19,000 followers right now.
Period.
So once my page started going up, and like I said, it's normal for a nail tech to take between 3 to 5 clients a day. I was out here hustling. Now, as I speak, I'm doing 6 to 11 clients a day. So I'm working and I'm hustling, but it's also because I could get each girl done in an hour with hand painted art, everything, and it looks great. They last long.
That's
And
crazy.
I was hustling, like, and even my clients know, like, it's not lazy. It's like, I'm not being lazy and just trying to get them out of here. Like, we still sit there, we
Quality.
talk, we have our deep conversations, and I get it done.
There's proof of it too. You have literal videos.
Of timestamps.
Because
and-
people would go in the comments and be like,
Say
nah,
it's
this
fake.
ain't no way you got this done in an hour.
No, they literally
Yo,
would
she
say
got proof,
she's not a
time
real nail
marks and
tech,
all,
she's
period.
lying, and all that, you know.
What is the best set that you have done so far? Like, have you posted
Your
it?
favorite set, yeah.
I post a lot. I have multiple different types. I definitely did. It was probably my most fun one that was like so out of the ordinary. It was Thanksgiving, so I did a whole Thanksgiving meal on her nails.
Really? I mean,
Everything
you can sign the.
Xavier's gonna put a
yeah,
picture
send us a
up right
picture.
here.
We'll put it
Okay,
right there
it's gonna
so
be
they
right
can see it.
So everything was hand sculpted from clay. So there was everything. I made like little mac and cheese, little collard greens, like
On a plate,
like
too.
I made a whole plate with like beans. Like, it sounds crazy.
Oh,
You're gonna have to
shit.
see it to believe it, kind of thing. But yeah, so I did
Like
that,
little-
and I was like, after I did that, I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. Like, you know, I started doing crazy stuff after that. A lot of hand sculpted stuff, but
I think that was the most fun one that I've done. But as far as favorite, I do love like the chunky nails with the gold and all of that, but just like girly stuff. I
Yeah.
don't know.
So now that you're a barber
Mm-hmm.
and you're a nail tech, is there is there any like clashes with schedules or anything?
I think that now that she is a barber, it works so much better. Because before, when she was working at Kayla Mays, I would go in at, my schedule, I try and make a 9 to 5. So I go in at 9, leave at 5 or 6. And she wouldn't get out of Kayla Mays till almost 8:30, 9.
Yeah, because I was pulling doubles, and the times that I wasn't pulling doubles, I didn't understand her. Because as barbers, we'll take in clients last minute. I'd be like, yo, babe, I'm coming home at 3, and then I end up going home at 6 or 7. And, I didn't understand that when she was doing it. So I'd get pissed off, and I'd be like, what did you doing? But I didn't understand the hustle yet.
Yeah.
So once I got into barbering, our schedules kind of matched, and, like, we understood each other, and we pick each other's slack up. Like, if she's home before me, she'll make dinner. If I'm home before her, I'll prep, I'll clean, do all these things. Like, as
make each other's life easier.
Yeah.
I think since you guys are both in client-based industries, it makes it so much easier for you. Because sometimes when I'm explaining to my girl, like, babe, I have another client, or like, I'm booked up, I can't text on my phone, I can't do this. Like, it's hard for them to understand. Also, for days off, because sometimes they want to do something on a Saturday. And for us client-based industries, when everyone else is not working. So for us, it's our busiest day.
Saturdays are
Saturdays.
busy.
So sometimes my girl wants to do something on Saturday, I can. She gets mad at me. But she doesn't understand that that's when everyone else is free. So it's probably way easier for you guys just to have
For
That
sure.
both
understanding.
client base.
Yeah.
Even emotionally, like you come home and I'm like, damn, I'm emotionally, like I'm just drained. And she's like, before she started barbering, she's like, what'd you do? You sat down all day and talked to girls. And I'm like, no, I'm drained, like I'm tired. But now she could come home and be like, damn, I had a long day. And I'm like, oh, what'd you do? You know what I mean? But I
Stand up,
understand,
talk
like,
to guys all day.
yeah, but, being with clients it's a blessing. Like I love it, but it is draining. You hear people's problems, you're taking on a lot, and you take it home. And before she was a barber, I would come home and be like, I don't want to talk. Like I just need to be alone. I can't like right now because it was a lot for me to communicate.
And it made us like having arguments more often.
Yeah, because
And
she wasn't understanding me.
I would understand.
Yeah.
But I always say to people, like, if you're looking to like get in a relationship, go with somebody that has like the same type of schedule, or same interest, same job as you, some shit like that. So y'all understand each other's like, ups and downs when it comes to scheduling. Scheduling is everything because it goes back to communication. So like if you don't have communication, then there is no like,
not
there's
working out,
no
Yeah.
foundation.
It'll fall through. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the foundation in your relationship, being that duo, or nail tech and barber?
I don't know. I feel like, we've been together.
For going on 6.
Yeah, we've been together since high school, and we went through a lot. Like being immature, me, and then two, she had a lot going on in her life.
We literally grew up with each other,
Yeah.
and then after I lost my, she was there from
I was there
when
for
I
all
was
of it.
when my first, not traumatic, but traumatic, my house burnt down, and I was with her, and then we keep going, and time went on. My mom got sick, my dad passed, my mom passed,
So it was more like a best friend.
so I was like, when I had literally nobody in my circle, I was like, she was the person that I could lean on. She was that person that I was like, and she knew that
That's big too.
Seriously, because especially when you feel alone, you have somebody that is your rock. And I know it was hard between us at some points because when I lost my parents, I lost part of myself.
Facts.
I was. Me and her, we would have a lot more arguments because she'd be like, what's wrong? And I'm like, nothing. Like, I would just try and not focus on it because I'm like, I got to focus on my business. I got to focus on this. And it was just a lot.
I had to low-key step down from my relationship and be a friend, because that's a lot of pressure on you. You didn't have time to think about being intimate with somebody. You wanted to get your life in order.
Yeah.
So I had to be that support system, and I had to kind of mature with you and get out of that state where we're still young. Why are you what I'm saying, let's do this, let's do that. So I had to be your friend, your backbone. I had to be an ear because I'm very opinionated, and I had to learn to just keep my mouth shut and just be your shoulder to cry on.
Yeah.
Listen. So in the past 4 years, I feel like together we have grown so much because we're finally, all the chaos is kind of dying down and we're going up together in our businesses. So it's like we're finally, getting to that finish line together. There is no finish line. Life keeps going. But you feel what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And you guys are active on social media, like active. Like you're the one I think that posts the most here in the shop in total.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, Jada love cuts.
that's
probably
respect,
almost
'cause
every day.
social media is
Social media is like, it's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
Like,
real.
I always say, like, if somebody were, I saw this once and it was like, if somebody were to give you a lottery ticket, every time you posted, everyone would post multiple times a day because you're like, oh, shoot, I'm going to go get a lotto ticket. But that's literally what it is.
That's
You
what it
post
is.
once a day. And like I said, that one time I posted that video, it blew up. And I'm so blessed to be where I am to the point where I could be booked out 2 months in advance. You know what I
all
mean?
it takes is one video.
That's why I'm like, you see it as a lotto ticket, and I'm like, keep posting.
Right,
And
right.
even once she got into barbering, after I had my experience with social media, I was like, it was a blessing. So I was like, you start, you post.
Yeah.
Like I was encouraging her. I'm like, post more, post more, post more, post
And it
your
was
face.
hard because it's like it is same field, but it's different content. So like I would ask her to help me edit a video or what sound should I use because all that matters. And she wouldn't know how to help me. So I had to figure it out myself. And I'm still learning. I only have about 470 followers, but that's all organic. So, and it was all from me learning, and I'm still learning. So it's like, with that being said, I feel like I'm, learning from you, watching you and watching other barbers and, just finding my own style. Like, it's really something. And that's helped me a lot with my clients. Because believe it or not, most of my clients are from my social media because she'll even repost some of mine and her clients' boyfriends will come to me. And that's just a blessing because we're helping each other out. Because I'll send their girlfriends to you. So we, you know what I'm saying? It's a win-win. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cheat code.
Yeah.
It is a cheat code.
She says her boy. Damn, that's a cheat code. Damn.
Tight shit.
Yo, they
fire.
ping pong clients off each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me.
It's
It
a
works
small
out
world.
because you. All right, this is a tough question for you because as a female barber, you entering a male-dominated industry, how does that feel for you? Do you feel intimidated or do you feel like you have to go harder?
Yeah, that's a great
So the thing
question,
is,
Mr. Xavier.
I present myself kind of masculine, so it's easier for me to blend in with y'all. But when it comes to marketing myself and getting clients, it's harder because I kind of have to be more. I gotta be more raw, more, myself. Show you that yo, this is my work, but this is me as well. And people are ignorant. People all over the world are ignorant. So I don't want no ignorant people in my seat. Money is money, but I'd rather have a relationship before anything.
With your clients,
Because
yeah.
I'm doing this for my heart. You feel me? My heart is on my sleeve, so I want you to be in my chair because you like me for me. I don't want to be liked, but I want to be able to know that you're liked. You feel me? So to get that, I think it's more just being myself. Because I grew up, my father, Bob, he is my rock and he is my everything. Everything that I am, how I speak, how everything is him. He's instilled so much advice into me ever since I was young. So he always told me Mama, don't be afraid, be yourself. So everything that I am is for him. So I never really was intimidated because, I had brothers. All of my brothers are my babies. So it's it was just more being me. If you don't like me, you don't like me. But I'm going to get the ones that like me to like me. And that's just what it was.
That's the
But I
thing.
do have to work harder, for sure.
Yeah, that's the thing about client-based industry. Not everybody's gonna like you.
Yeah.
You're just gonna have to accept that before you even go into it. Because even if you do a fire haircut, the haircut's perfect. They don't like the style of it. They don't like how you made this too dark, or they don't like how you did the C cups, or there's no matter how good of
different.
Everybody's
no matter how good of a barber you
It's
are,
art.
not everyone's gonna like you. And that's another thing. We're in barbering and especially nails is art.
Yeah.
That's why earlier when you guys talk about being mentally tired, we do stand in one spot all day and we move. It is physically taxing, but up here mentally, looking at fades all day. Maybe you thinking of ideas.
Yeah.
It's
Or
hard.
when a client sits in your chair or
Yeah.
vice versa, oh, they be like, whatever you want. So
You
now,
know,
now you
that makes
gotta
me
like
wanna go
think,
home.
you're like, oh,
Yo,
shit,
that
like,
happens to you, like.
Yeah, they're like, what do you want to do? I'm like, girl, I want to leave. What do you want to do?
like at least show me a picture.
Yeah,
of
like
my
for
person.
like for
Yeah,
nails,
yeah.
would you rather have a picture like an inspiration
Absolutely.
or yeah?
Especially if I'm back to black. If I have an hour per person, show me what you want. I'll make it happen. But once you get me to start thinking, I'm like, ooh, that's a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause now
bro.
you gotta like,
Now I gotta
do
like
you want
plan.
this? Do you want it like that?
And
Like,
I've been through so many experiences where they're like, do whatever you want. And some days I'll be like, okay, whatever. And I'm like, I'll be like, do you like this color? No. Do you like this shape? No. Do you want them long? No.
No.
Do you want them short? I don't know. Okay, girl, tell me what you want, because I don't know.
Yo,
Like,
females are harder, that's for sure. She'll come home telling me mad stories, and I'm like, how the heck did you sit there and was chill? Like, yo, real shit,
Yeah.
guys are like cool, calm, and collected. You know, you'll get like those picky clients, but like most of the time, if a client doesn't like it, they'll be chill. There are, you know, you have those episodes
Those
where like you
hotheads,
get,
yeah.
yeah. But
I have
most of
that.
the time, yeah.
My bad. I have that one
you got-
client. You're never booking with me ever again. Saying
No.
that
You know
right
who you
now.
are.
You
Stamped.
know who you
Stamped.
are.
block it.
How dare you text me on a Sunday talking about, yo, 3 days later, but I still took a shower. I don't know, it's still kind of long to me on top. Say that in the chat. I give you multiple chances to confirm
Yo,
if that's
that
the
be
length you like.
happening, for
No,
real.
you're done, buddy. You're done.
You're banned.
As a client, don't be scared, bro, cause we.
Yeah,
Say it
say
in the
how it
chair,
is.
don't
It's
say it
your
at all.
head. It's not our head. It's your head.
You're the
So
one
say it on
paying.
your
We gotta
chest.
make it to
Yeah.
your liking. If you like it shorter, say it. Yo, can you go a little bit shorter? I have zero problems
Facts.
attending to what your needs are,
Yeah.
because you're paying for it. You're the one that gotta like it.
That's what
So-
I say to my clients. I said, I'm not wearing them. You are. Tell me what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no shade though. Like,
No.
All shade.
Oh shade.
yo. You
Nah,
crazy
but, like,
gang.
You do have those picky clients sometimes, but sometimes I do understand them because they are spending their hard-earned money.
Yeah.
Like they want their haircut a
course.
certain way.
Yeah.
And honestly, I've had clients that I cut today that started off as picky. Like give me
Yeah.
the mirror, let me see.
Yeah.
But now I've been cutting them for years. At this point, they sit down
They
and
trust
close their
you.
eyes, and it's that trust that you build with your
Yeah,
client that's
yeah.
very
Yeah.
important in our industry.
Very.
You gotta show your clients that they can trust you.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
do you have any clients that you say started off as picky or maybe didn't like you at first, but you grew a relationship with? Both of you.
Yeah, low key. Yeah. But like you said, like they begin to have that trust. And you gotta be consistent. That's one thing as a barber.
Consistency,
You gotta be
yeah.
consistent. You can't get comfortable because then you start to slack. And they notice that. They will notice it because at the end of the day, it's their hair. So it's like you have a lot of like responsibility. You know, it's like surgery. You doing surgery. Hair grows back, thank God. So if you were to mess up, it grows back. But like it's more something like you really doing a service for them, and they trust you, and it's their hair, it's their look. Like, yo, like I'm into fashion a lot. So when you have a nice fit and then you got to cut, you feel like $1 million.
Easily.
Real shit.
Easily.
So when a client comes in and like they have a nice fit, always compliment your clients. Real shit, because you want them to make them feel like they're seen. And then they'll even like, damn, like I'm seen. Then you give them a nice cut, and then they're like, wow, like I really feel comfortable in your chair.
People
So,
sit in our
yeah.
chair because they lack confidence. That's
Exactly.
the number one reason
Yeah.
why they sit in our chair. If they had all the confidence in the world, why would they need a cut? Like they already feel
when it comes
themselves.
to hair base, it's like you changing their appearance.
Mm-hmm.
So however they come out the chair is how the world is gonna view
That's
them.
their identity. Yeah.
So that's something important. And for nail techs, is it the same? You feel
I
like?
think girls feel more confident. Like it depends. A lot of girls you feel more put together. You feel like okay,
Okay.
I have everything in
cleaner.
order. When your nails are done, you look clean. You look like you look the part. You
Organized. Yeah.
yes, very much.
Because
'cause-
my girl likes her lashes, hair, nails,
Yeah,
Everything.
Yeah, that's
So
how
I-
it is. But it makes you feel like I have everything in order. I'm, you keep up with yourself. Nails are a luxury service. They are not, they don't need to be on your nails. You don't need to get your nails done. But it's a luxury service, and I think people forget that because
Yeah.
people come in and go, okay, I want to spend $30, and it's like you're not doing that nowadays. This is a luxury service. You're gonna pay for what you get, but these are something that is gonna make you feel, who you are. Like, especially with the more like fun, crazy nails. Anytime I ever had a girl sit in my chair and get something crazy, I promise you they have personality because they get something crazy and I'm like, oh, she has a little something like.
It's like part of your fit.
Yeah,
for
like
me, yeah,
seriously,
yeah.
like the girls will come in with their cute outfits and they'll like look good and be fly or whatever, and they get their nails done. I'm like, they got flavor to them. They know what they're
Facts,
doing, you know.
yeah,
But then
yeah.
obviously there's girls with their simple nails too, obviously, and that just makes them feel clean, put together. But I think it's an accessory more than like, you know.
What do you think about girls? Because there's a thing in the barbering industry. If a guy comes and sits in your chair and asks you for their girlfriend's initial in their head, you're not gonna feel comfortable doing that, or like you'll talk them out of it.
It's the same thing.
So my policy is, if he's paying, okay. If he ain't paying, that I'm not doing that shit.
Bro, every
I've
time
had-
I pay for my girl's nails, she better have that X on it, bro. If she don't have that X on it, bro,
but
I'm
let
not
me
paying
just
for
say,
it.
I hate doing the initials.
You hate it though?
I do this beautiful design and you want to stick a letter on there? What the heck? I don't want to do that.
I'm not gonna lie, if I'm paying, that letter better be on it.
Bro, there better be a big fat O on there, on the middle, on the ring finger right here.
Obi, yo.
Nah, my girl did the OB before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
I think she did OB
yeah.
cuts.
Nah, I'm joking.
actually.
I'll pay for my girl's
That's
nails,
hard.
but
That's
I do
really
like when she
hard.
gets her initial on it. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know, as a man, it makes you feel special.
It makes you feel like,
locked in.
yeah,
Like,
like she's
damn,
wearing
you
your name.
butterflies, like.
Yeah. But if they ain't paying, they're not getting that. I've told girls straight up, no. Like,
That's
no.
fire though. I like that. That's
Yeah.
valid. That's a valid.
We're
Yeah.
gonna be like, yo, who's paying?
But
Oh, he not paying?
but
Nah,
I've
hell no, I ain't doing
Who's
this.
saying that,
Yeah,
bro?
but I've
She
had
dead ass
situations where girls, I'm like, they were like, I want my boyfriend's name. We've been talking for 2 months. Girl, are you sure? So I tell him, I'm gonna top coat it. I'll put the sticker on and top coat it again. So if you need to take that off, you can. Comes back 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, the letter's off, and I go, told you so. Jinx yourself.
Yo.
That's why you don't put no letter
you
on
get
your
an
nail.
argument like,
Oh, really?
yeah.
Yeah, that's literally what happened. She's like, I had to rip it off. We were arguing.
We play it and then within 5 minutes, yeah, this shit is on.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny.
serious.
I always thought that shit was corny, not gonna lie.
What?
I think it's cause like to put your initial on the nails, but I think it's cause she's my girlfriend, a nail tech.
And I tell her, like,
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. That's not.
How do you
Yeah,
feel
you're
about
right.
tattoos?
Tattoos, you mean?
Like,
Oh, no.
like putting,
Oh,
like,
hell
I
no.
understand.
that's
Yeah, I
another-
understand.
You're
That's
jinxing
crazy.
your relationship.
Yeah.
I just think
You
it's
think that's
tacky.
jinxing it?
Do you have your girlfriend's
No,
name?
no, no.
Do you have
I
your
got her
girlfriend's
eye.
name? Okay, cool.
That's different,
I was gonna.
yeah,
I
that's
just want to.
fine.
I don't
I
want.
wouldn't-
I don't want you guys to have their names on you, and I'm
And be
gonna
like, yo,
talk
that's the
shit.
most stupidest shit ever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
facts.
I think you're jinxing yourself because anytime anybody's ever got their name tatted on each other,
Never
they don't last. They don't last.
Yo, we went to school with somebody that got her name tatted.
Did they last?
Nah, she got cheated on.
Oh,
Yeah, I know.
What?
You know who I'm talking
No, I
about. I just
know,
don't
no,
want
I
to say the person's name.
Anyway.
I don't know.
All right, so y'all building your social medias, which is fire, but that also means that other people are going to be able to start seeing your social media. Important people. Who's one person that's on your bucket list or your goal to give a service to?
Give a service to?
Like cut their hair.
Like celebrity?
Yeah,
I don't
it could be
know.
anybody.
I like shit. I wouldn't say another barber because I would rather like do a collab with another barber. I'd say
Yeah.
more like, damn, like any celebrity, like
Any
whether it's in
anybody.
fashion, a rapper, a singer, a freaking a cook,
'Cause
anybody.
remember,
Yeah.
you just cut one of them,
Yeah.
you put that celebrity barber in your bio, and you're
Yeah.
going crazy.
Yeah, yeah, or even
From there.
athletes, like NFL players, NBA players, because then you start doing a roster, and then you get money,
That's how you get in. Yeah.
and then you could just rely on that. You don't have
Yeah.
to, you know. But to be honest, like this is so cliche, but kind of off topic. I would love to meet Vic Blends because he's done something that like it's different. It's more heart. Like everything is in the corazón. So it's like,
Corazón.
yeah, bro.
And we're back.
Camera battery died, but we back. We're just moving on for the next topic. Bro, this is a crazy question I got for you guys. What is your craziest? Because sometimes we gotta fire a client, right? Because they're not the client we want to cut or do nails on. I want to know your craziest firing a client story. Omar, you can start since I know you got a good one.
Zoom in on my face, all right? Get it in my face.
Oh my God, bro.
You know who you are, bro. And I loved you in the beginning, but you did me wrong. So now you're fired. Ain't shit we can do about it, Gango. You're done. He's done. Listen. He would come an hour late and be like, yo, you can still take me? No, bro. Who you think I am? Then, after the hour late, I apologized. I was like, you know what? You good, bro. Just let me know ahead of time whenever you're going to come in late so I can know if you're running late or anything. Because if you're running 5 minutes late, 10 minutes late, understandable. Things happen, whatever. Next time he comes, 2 hours late. How, bro? No text, no nothing. Comes in. He said, yo, I'm so sorry. Can you still? No, bro. Like, I can't even cut you no more. Like, don't bug me, bro. I'm pretty sure I blocked him. I don't know how he booked me again. Fast forward, the shop gets open. Somehow he books me again. He had to change his number or something. There's no way. Whatever. He's actually on time now. This new shop, he's on time. Last couple of times I cut him, though, he been on some. So, he's one of those people that like to gas himself up and talk and talk and talk. But, like, come on, bro. You don't gotta prove that you're something to me. I really don't care. Like, just sit in my chair. Let's have a conversation. Let's cut your hair. Keep going about your day. I don't care whatever you accomplished. You're great. You're a great human being. I don't care. Bro, these last 2 times, bro. Like, how you gonna call or text me 3 days later? You get a haircut on Thursday and be like, yo, I just got out the shower. The hair's still kind of long on top on Sunday. You finally took a shower? Is that what it is? Like, am I missing something here?
Yeah.
Listen, bro, and I wouldn't say you cool people because honestly, you are. Like, I like talking to you because you just like to bullshit a lot. I like that. Whatever, cool. But now, like, you messing with the business. Like, as a barber, you gotta draw that fine line between you and the client. This is where I messed up at. I got too personal with him, I guess you could say it. So instead of being that barber and client, he probably felt was more like
Friends.
my boy. Like, I have that relationship with my clients and I love that about my clients, but it's not with every single client. Like, there's a lot of my clients where I just keep it professional. Some of them, like, I have so many clients that be like, yo, come over to this party, I'm having this wedding, or I'm doing this, or baby shower, whatever. But it's that bond that we build. Like, you don't open up as a barber to a lot of that with a lot of clients. So his mindset probably was that. I don't know why, because we didn't really talk about that much shit. It was mostly just you talking. So whatever. Yeah. I think that's the point that pissed me off the most. Like, you're going to text me that on Sunday, like, yo, I just took a shower. Bro, I don't care, bro. Like, when you taking a shower now? Like, what you talking about? Yo, it's still long. When, mind you, I asked them countless times. I'm like, yo, you sure? You sure that's the length you wanted? He said, yeah, bro, that's cool, yo, that's fire. I like it. All right. Before I took the cape off, I asked him again, yo, you sure you don't want me to, like, go a little bit shorter? I got time. Because regardless, I'm not going to go and skip you over as a client and rush you out because I like to take my time. Like, you're paying for a great haircut. So I would never rush my clients out the chair. So for him to just text me 3 days later, it just ticked me off. I'm like, but you're done. Blocked them. You're blocked. Don't even try booking. You're blocked. Good luck, my boy. Hope you really find somebody. Maybe I'm just not that barber for you. And that's okay.
Right.
Because maybe it could be the same for Morgan, where it's just don't work out. Maybe the work, the art that I'm putting into it is not the one that you're looking for, and that's okay.
Yep.
So that's my word story.
Been there, done that.
So
Me? Shit. So one thing is like, I don't mind cutting kids' hair. real shit. I feel like I have a lot of patience because I grew up with a lot of younger brothers. So like every time I have a baby in my chair or like a little kid, it doesn't bother me because as long as they sit still, and even if they don't, I can always rock with it still. Like very patient and like very soft, like handed, like everything. But there was this one time they was just walking, and they said, "Yo, you got your badge. That was like your first time cutting a kid that was acting up." I think y'all was like they left you like. Yeah, applaud and was like, yo, there you go, like,
the crying
welcome.
one?
Yeah,
The
you
one
was
who's
like,
crying?
yeah. Anyways, he kept moving, and he kept pushing my clippers, throwing them and shit.
That's the worst.
And I was like, yo. So yeah, I guess you could say I didn't fire them. They just, you could tell, God bless him, but you could tell that he was kind of on the spectrum. So I didn't get mad at all. It was just more like, that kind of it was difficult. It took a lot of like energy out of me and like physically as well. Cause I was like, I kept moving back and stuff. So I could say like, if you gotta make sure your child sit down. And if they can't, then like, let me know that at least. You feel me? And like, we'll go from there. But no shade, like, I don't have no problem. It's just more like that was my story that it was like my most difficult. Cause like, if they were to come back in, I'll cut them again. Cause like all love, real shit. But like that was difficult for sure. And that really made me feel like, all right, I'm home now. Cause like that was real. But yeah.
Got the whole shop looking at her. I know
Yeah,
she was
bro.
nervous.
Yeah.
But I swear we was like, yo, what's going on back there?
She was sweating.
Yeah, I was, bro.
So shit, I was like, oh my god, like.
That's funny. I can picture
What
you
about
doing
babe?
that. I'm just gonna say the time I had to fire a client. Unfortunately, I've had to fire multiple, but this is the one that like stuck out for me, I guess. She was cool. She was mad cool actually. Like she was cool. But she came in hot. Like, oh my god, hey, what's up? First time meeting her. Like, hey, like very high energy, which is perfectly fine. But it's a lot when the first time you meet somebody, and mind you, we're in a room by ourselves, so it's like I try and come and like make them feel comfortable, but she like outdid my energy. And I always try and be the higher energy in the room because it's my room. But she outdid my energy, which is fine. Sat down and immediately started talking like crap. Oh, my last nail tech, I went through 3 nail techs. I got fired from each one. And I'm like, okay.
Red flag.
I'm like in the back of my head, like, Morgan, just let's get this done. Just focus on getting her nails done. Like, we just got to get through this. So obviously I have to play. I'm not going to just be silent. I have to play the game of, oh my goodness, what happened? Like, So I asked her, I'm like, what happened? And she's like, well, this nail tech did this and this and this. So she was telling me all these stories, and one of them stuck out to me. And this is the reason why I was like, yeah, nah, I can't have her come back. So we're talking, and she's telling me how one time her nail tech canceled her appointment because she was 20 minutes late. And then the following appointment, the nail tech also canceled the appointment because the nail tech had an emergency at the hospital, which that's fair. Stuff happens. Life is lifing, But she was really upset by that, unfortunately. And she was just like, this canceled my appointment, She didn't get blocked after that, but she went back. And I guess they got into a little, not an argument, she said, but they just started going at it, and they weren't agreeing. So she told me, she was like, and at that point, I had to pull my out. And I was like,
yo, world star.
No, at that point, I'm like, mind you, I'm in a room alone with her. Like, there's other people in the building, but I'm like, oh my gosh, the nail tech must have been crazy. Because I'm like, I gotta play her side.
Hold on. Because we're going to have to bleep that part. Instead of use tool.
Tool.
Yeah.
All right.
Use tool.
She said she had to pull out
A tool.
Or tool.
You take that as you will. But she had to pull out a tool to scare somebody off, apparently. And at that point, that was my thing where I was like,
Somebody.
I don't know.
Oh, no, don't do it.
At that point, now I'm just like curious. I'm like, oh wow, do you always carry it on you? And she's like, no, not always, but that time I just had it on me. And I'm like, I wanted to be like, girl, you got it on you now or whatever.
It was a coin flip chance that she had it.
Yo,
but I kind of just let it, and then I was
On your
like,
toes.
I just got to change the subject. So I just changed the subject. She loved her nails. She was actually really cool, but fired. I can't deal with that.
It was your
That's too
safety.
much.
Safety was at risk.
And
too
also,
much.
like, she was coming in hot, you know, and I'm like,
You don't
this
know
is
her.
my own business and I gotta protect my peace.
That's a red flag, yo.
If you get fired from somebody, don't tell them at least. Like,
Yeah,
don't
you
start
just
it off
always
like
a
that.
yourself.
Just,
Yeah.
just
Don't be like, yo, my nail tech fired me. My barber,
Yo,
my last
facts.
barber fired me. Don't
because
say
now we're
that.
like, oh gosh, what
Because
happened?
we're going to know as a barber, like, it takes a lot for you to get fired as a client. It's not just like one-time occurrence. No, but it has to happen.
yeah.
Multiple
Yeah,
times.
Like-
unless it's something crazy, you know.
Yeah.
And it's that one time you're like, nah, I'm good.
But, like,
But-
it's not worth it.
Nah.
Not all money is good money.
Right,
Let's just
real.
say that.
That's so
Yeah.
real.
Yeah.
What about you, X?
I really never had to fire anybody. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh,
Right.
I
good
never
for you.
had that.
Me either.
It's crazy. I used to work in New Britain, so it was a crazy place. But thankfully, I didn't
You
run
used to
into.
work down like. You think
In
about
Gotham.
Gotham City? That's where he worked at. Inside a laundromat, they sell everything.
All right.
You gotta cut that out.
Cut that out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not
nah.
one time. Not even here.
Not even a bad experience. I should have bad experience. Nah.
Honestly,
You
period.
just blessed, brother.
Never.
Honestly, period.
Hopefully, I
Green
don't think
eyes, curly hair, good average height.
so. Why you
is
start
this?
glazing me?
Who is this?
Why you start?
Tatted up. Damn, bro. Cuban
dilf.
link in the wrist.
We got a
Bro,
dilf in the building,
bro.
bro.
Never, not once had a bad experience. Who is this?
I never did a bad haircut either. Stamped.
Yeah, facts. I need to
Jay
get a
ain't
cut
gonna
by
like
you,
this.
bro.
Jay,
I never
need
cut
you to
Jada.
come-
I know. I want to get
Jay,
a
I
cut by
need you to come and hate on this tomorrow, please.
No, please.
No. No. I vouch no, bro. Keep it P, bro.
Bro.
Yo.
Anyways, though, you guys are doing great now. Like we
Appreciate
said
that,
multiple
yeah.
Thank you.
times. That's one thing I see about Jada. That I'm not gonna lie, I don't see in many other barbers. Is her drive. Your drive to post every day, want to learn. Sometimes you be doing nothing, but you're next to somebody else's chair looking at them cut because you
Yeah.
want to see like their technique and how they put in the work, and you just want to grow, and that's important. What?
Yeah. I think
Like
it's just me being humble. You feel me? Like, cause I learned a lot from OG barbers. You know, cause you can't be like, oh, I know everything, cause you don't know shit. I don't know shit. Somebody who's been cutting for 2 years don't know shit.
I still don't know
You
shit.
feel me? So it's like you gotta learn from everybody. You gotta get a little bit from everybody. You can build your own personality with that.
What is that? What is that?
Clock it.
Oh no, I
Period.
get
Bro, I don't
Clock
know.
it.
I just seen Jada do it.
That's what you've been doing.
But yeah,
Anyways.
bro. That's why, like,
Yo,
I really.
please, my bad. Down below, tell Xavier what this means.
Bro.
Yo, that's that. I don't know.
That's
you.
that TikTok.
TikTok shit. Yeah.
But if you
I'm
know,
too
you
old
know,
for this, bro. I'm too old for
I
this.
told you, back in the 80s, bro.
Back in the day.
Oh my God, this Hulk Hogan, yo. Like,
Bro.
Bro, you funny as shit. Nah, what I was gonna say is that I really appreciate like my station next to Ruben, cause Ruben has taught me a lot from just a little bit of time me being here.
The OG
Like,
of the shop.
yeah, bro.
We're gonna have him on the
yeah.
podcast real soon, right?
OG.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. We haven't talked to him yet, but I know he's gonna want
you know
to be
how
on.
OGs
Barber.
are, yo. OGs like to take it easy, not like.
They don't want to be on an
wanna
hour-long
be in the
podcast,
scene.
but we'll
Yeah,
see
bro.
because he has some gems he can spit
He
on
do.
us. So
He's
You
just
gotta-
a
you
gem, yeah.
mm,
So
Like
like,
you said, a lot of techniques too.
but he does it where like I'll be cutting and he sees like he wants to correct me and he'll wait. He'll be like, see that right there? So I respect that. I respect that because it's like,
get the statue, get the statue,
Yo,
get the
yo,
statue,
yo.
get the statue, get the statue. Grab it, Omar.
Yo, yo.
That's Ruben right there. That's Ruben.
Ruben be like,
He's like, yo,
you see that
mama.
right there?
He'd be like, yo, mama.
Yo, real
Yeah.
shit. And I like it because it's like he not put me on the spot. And my client won't even know what's going on because they don't even understand Spanish. So I'm like, I'm chilling, bro. Feel me? But
Yeah.
yeah, bro. Yo, shout out Ruben because he taught me a
Shout
lot.
out for real.
He taught me a lot. And he's always sticking up for me. They'll always be trolling and shit. And Ruben like, no, don't play with Jada, bro. And I'm like, yo, Oh.
He look at Daryl and be like that.
Yeah, he do. He do. I didn't see that.
Yo.
Yo.
Yo,
Yeah,
Daryl's
bro.
top troll.
Yo, Daryl, I f with Daryl.
He's like the class clown.
Yeah,
You know what's
yeah.
crazy?
You guys should do superlatives for the shop.
Oh, that'd be fire.
Like,
Yeah, that would
Like
be
a
fun.
video.
y'all
That'd be
should do
fire.
that.
I told Jada when we first had that talk, like, yo, please watch out for
yeah.
Daryl.
Yo, you warned her.
You told me outside. He was like, I just want to let you know that like we troll a lot, so please don't take it personal. Like we talk a lot of shit, and I was like, okay, because the other shop was nothing like this at all. And I was just like, okay. I was trying to be nonchalant, so I was like, okay.
Yeah,
But nah, bruh.
her big 700 on, big puffer. But yo.
Yo.
Is that what you had
I
on?
like, listen,
Yeah, it was the winter.
I like, yo, Daryl, he's a top troll. Be
He's a
careful with him.
character. He's a
He's
character.
gonna tell you like, but he does it in good spirit though.
Yeah, I respect him. I really like him a lot because me and him, we come early most of the time in the shop, so we spend time in the mornings together and we talk and shit like that. But he knows, bro. Sometimes y'all be with that babe shit, and I'm just like not with it, bro. So he knows like my boundaries. So like we be chilling and stuff, and
Yeah,
he be telling me shit. So yeah, bro.
Yeah, Jada like stepped up one time. Yeah, that was the most funniest shit ever.
What happened, bro?
Daryl was like, yo, Jada love butts. Jada was like, yo, don't call me that.
Yeah, bro. They
See him
love
with the-
butts. I'm
Yo,
like,
she was like, yo,
What?
cut that shit out. Don't call me that. I was like,
and he was
She
like,
don't play
oh,
about
nah.
like you messing with her name. Even at
Nah,
home, like if I
bro.
call her like a little like silly like cutesy name, don't call me that shit. I'm like, oh my
Hands
god.
up. Don't.
You call me
don't.
Kissy.
What do I call
be
you?
like,
You know
yo.
what? You want to know what she calls me on?
What do I call you?
Sweet cheeks. What the is that? Sweet cheeks?
It's like cutesy. It's funny.
That's from the 80s, Omar.
holy shit. Holy shit. Extra
Because-
got me.
What?
Extra young.
No, I
What?
should never said that.
What?
Yo, I'm gonna bring it up.
Wait, what?
Yo,
Dude.
sweet cheeks.
Dude.
Yo!
Oh,
I'm doomed,
yo,
guys.
walking cousin, yo, sweet cheeks, you got.
And I'm ignoring you because who the is that? Who's that? Who's that,
I was
bro?
like, yo, she didn't hear me, yo, sweet cheeks.
Doomed.
Yo.
Oh,
You brought it up, not me.
Holy
no.
shit, you got a
it's
headache.
just, it's just
Yeah.
for the content, bro.
Nah. She don't like her name being played with. I'll just say that.
That's also, we be friendly and joke around, but sometimes you gotta put that line of like, where
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
cross this line because that's disrespect. A lot of people think humor, like maybe you don't like dark humor, maybe like that's not your type of thing. So as soon as you see someone's into that, it's better to quickly draw that line and be like, I don't do this, just to
Right,
keep
right, right.
that. Even with
Yeah,
clients,
yeah,
even with
yeah.
clients, 'cause sometimes clients
Yeah.
be saying some crazy stuff. Even in the chair, they don't care. There's kids running around. They be saying some crazy things sometimes. So you just gotta tell them no.
Yo,
Like,
one time, oh my god, I feel so bad. So when the first time I put the couch next to me, I had this client talking like completely badly about females.
Oh.
And I was like, hold on, like there's a little girl right next to you. Chill on that talk. Like don't even gotta talk about it like that. He's like, oh yeah, my bad. But it's like, in what world would you even like
Say that.
seeing that little girl there, would you just be like talking
Nah.
badly about females like that?
They don't have like
we
social
meet-
awareness.
Yeah, like
Yeah, we meet a lot of people. We meet some good people, but we also meet a lot of jerks, a lot of bad people in the world. So we come across our fair share of people that are not all there.
That's just each his own.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like we have doing a lot of like good progress here with being more mature and like being able to watch our mouths and stuff like that. Cause we're all young.
We're all, yeah,
here.
I'll say we're all young. Like
Yeah,
we're
we're
still
all young.
learning. We're still
Yeah, and
this is my like
yeah.
first, because in the old shop I was in a small shop, which is me and the owner. So I feel like this is my first like real like shop. Like I'm with like 7 other 8 other barbers. So it's just a lot more dynamic and stuff we gotta learn.
X don't know how to do math. We got 9 barbers.
I said 8 other barbers.
8 other, he's the 9th.
Anyways, I think we talked about everything, right? We chilling? We
Yeah,
good?
we chilling.
How y'all feel about your first podcast? We started like jibber jabbering at the end, but
Yeah.
that's why I like
No, it was
we told
good.
our stories
It was
and
great.
Pretty good?
It was good.
Yeah, appreciate you guys.
Where do you guys see
putting me on.
yourselves in
Oh yeah.
3 years from now?
3 years?
And your prospective careers? Not only that, relationship too.
Okay, so you want to start off or you want me to start?
You can start off.
Career-wise, I see myself booked up. I see my Instagram blowing up. And I see myself, like really taking my business and my brand serious. And possibly even like, doing coloring services. I've been into like shear work as well. I probably want to like challenge myself to like learn how to cut like female hair, cause that's more money in that field. But I just feel like 3 years from now I'm gonna be like very confident in my work and also having my own brand. Like whether it's a clothing brand, whether it's me being a brand ambassador, something with a brand, because I feel like my name Jada Love. Jada is just like I should be respected enough to be part of something else that's bigger. So from 3 years from now, business-wise, I see myself really being established, period. License and all, you know who I am, period.
3 years from now, business-wise, I would love to have a team of my own, have my own group of girls, whatever it is, just have my own area with all of us. And also, like, something similar to what you guys have. You guys have family. I literally is like such a blessing for you, especially that you have that, and I look up to that almost. So I would love to have that of my own, and also I am excited to. I'm gonna speak it into existence because I'm gonna do it regardless. Teach like master classes on how to teach girls how to do nails. I already do one-on-ones, so I want to go ahead and teach master classes and expand my knowledge with other girls to help them be better. I want to do that for sure. So career-wise, that's where I see myself.
Do you see yourself as an educator in
Yeah.
the future?
I could see myself as an educator,
Dude,
or like a
fire.
leader for young women and girls, or people that they don't have confidence, or because people tell themselves like, oh, well, I can't do this yet because this isn't set up. Like, people say that like, oh, I have to get this in order first before I can start something new. But I want to show people like, you just got to go for it. So I want to be like a leader in that way, and maybe even like motivational speaker to women and all that for them.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
And relationship-wise, 3 years from now, I see myself engaged and possibly even married.
I don't know what this is, but I'm doing it.
With yours truly. With yours truly. She has taught me a lot in this relationship. Growing up, because we grew up together. In a way, like I feel like we raised each other.
We had to grow up fast.
Yeah,
too.
we with each other. You feel me? And business-wise, you taught me a lot. And I really look up to you, and I really respect you a lot. And I would love to make a family with you,
Period.
and be with you for life. And
Jada and Morgan, kids? Yo, put that as the thumbnail right there.
my family loves you and I love you,
Yeah.
and so it's like, you're a part of me now. So
Yeah.
3 years from now, it'll be us together forever. Period.
Yeah, that shit was beautiful.
And I agree with that. Period. I ain't got nothing else to say. So,
Damn,
clock it.
shit touched the heart, yo. You got the director crying in the back.
Yo, have you seen this episode to the end right now and you walk into the shop, just do this when you walk in. And we know.
I know you watched the episode.
Nah, but anyways, thank y'all for the support on episode 2. That shit was crazier than the first one. And I know this one is gonna be even crazier. We're gonna tap into your clientele, the female clientele, the people who follow you, because I know you have people that look up to you, people that are like, damn, I know Jada, like I get my hair cut by her. And I'm excited to have these people here, and I'm excited we got to chop it up for a little because I know so much more about you now, which is fire.
Yeah, that's fine.
And none, we went crazy. This is like an hour and a half, more than an hour and a half podcast. Bro, I'm gonna tell this again because last time y'all didn't listen to me. We have like 8,000 channel views, bro. Like shorts, videos. From the podcast alone, we have like 400, but like solo. So at least I know at least a quarter of y'all watched the full podcast. So if y'all at the end, bro, hit the subscribe button. We doubled our number, our subscriber count from episode 2 to 1. So we doubled.
Subscribe,
Bro, if we
subscribe right there. Right there. Boom, boom, boom.
Yo, if we could double it again, we'll be close to 100 subscribers. And bro, I'm excited. This is like the beginning of this.
And if you're a lady from my page, make sure to subscribe to them as well.
Stamped.
Do you think?
Subscribe.
Like, who are because like for Barber wise, we have people like Big Blinds, Vitorino, Ebody Barber. In your field of nail techs, who are the top?
One more question before we leave.
Yeah, my bad.
It's a short question because honestly, there's not a lot. There's not a lot. A lot of them are just social media influencers because I think the nail world it's more saturated with more of like I feel like a lot of people that do nails that are like higher up are more, in my opinion, where it was more based in like Asia and like Korean, like all that kind of stuff. So I think just as of recently, we are having a diverse nail. So there's people of all different ethnic backgrounds, everything, races, cultures are starting to do nails. And I think a lot of it the nail game from before COVID to after COVID has changed. So I feel like there's not a lot of people that it's like, that is that one girl that I want to be. It's kind of like we're all just the community. And once again, girls get a little catty. So some girls online I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. But you know what I mean? So they get a little like, they don't support that person. They don't support that. But there's not any people specific or like, that's why we kind of are all our own person. And that's why you got to just build your own platform as it is. Because they all go their own ways.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
I thought nail techs were like
barbers are
somebody that y'all look up to, something like that.
Barbers you guys are a lot more established. I could say that.
I think nail techs and like lash techs and stuff
We're very underground.
They're coming up now. We're starting to see that more now. And it's crazy because nail art, I feel like it's more creative than barbering. I ain't gonna lie. Because it's just
gotta
like
be precise
blank canvas. Yeah, literally. It's harder,
it's
but.
Man, little.
Anyway.
Like we have this much to fade. The nail tech probably got like this much.
For real. Like this much.
To make.
Anyways, that's the end. We got a banger. But subscribe, episode 3. Episode 4 coming soon. Shh. Y'all know who it is next. Let's go. It's showtime.
Let's go, man.